So word on the street is they're only deporting Hispanics. Here's a video to prove otherwise.
What's your name, sir? Say your name. Say your name. Are you from here? Oh my God, they're just taking this man, dude. Dude, you guys. This is so scary, you guys. Poor man, dude. Like, so many people are taking this man.
Now, as y'all saw, that guy was obviously not Hispanic, he was Asian, and it seems he was getting deported. What do you guys think about this?
A lot of Asian Americans vote red, specifically Vietnamese Americans. And a lot of Vietnamese people know this because there's a whole thing for Viets for Trump or whatever, which for one is already crazy. But I always thought it was the older generation of Vietnamese Americans who came during the war or very closely after the Vietnam War. But actually it affects, you know, our generation, my generation. So whether that's second generation Vietnamese Americans or third generation Vietnamese Americans, it's just crazy. Especially considering the fact that during the Vietnam War, many Vietnamese Americans came to America to escape communism and are now supporting dictatorship. And many of those same Vietnamese Americans came here through green cards and married into being able to be here. Mind you, almost every Vietnamese person who left Vietnam during that time left and came here illegally. It was literally illegal to escape to America. You almost forgot that Vietnamese people didn't just spawn here.
They just sent migrants from Vietnam and Myanmar to South Sudan, a country plagued with violence, conflict, and political instability. And to all the older Vietnamese population, including my own family, who voted for him, you. You forgot, turned your back, and sold us out to the very thing you ran away from. And all for what? To be close to whiteness? Newsflash, you'll never be white. If it wasn't for the civil rights movement, Martin Luther King Jr., and the Black community, the community that you are so racist towards, we wouldn't have any freedoms in America. You guys are so freaking brainwashed. None of them care about you. Unless you are a wealthy, white man, you are not human. We are not human in their eyes.
To all the Asian Americans that are staying silent about what's happening in LA, you think you're safe because you're not Hispanic? Think again, because who do you think they'll come after next? Just remember, you're not white. Those maggots, they don't want you here either.
They are now deporting Asians. Please, y'all, stay at home. It's just not one group of people now, and it's never just been one group of people, by the way. It's not just dark-skinned people like Africans, Jamaicans, Caribbeans, and then they moved on to Latinos and Mexicans. It's now Asians, okay? You guys did a really great job marching out there. I was cheering you guys on, but I'm gonna tell you like this. I don't think no one should go out there anymore. They up to some real sneaky stuff. Can't talk about it just yet. But look, stay at home, protect your families. That's it. Stay at home. I don't think it matters how much marching and talking we do. He said he was gonna do what he's gonna do, and he's been doing what he wants to do. No one's stopping him, and no one's going to stop him. You know why? Because they want to change. And this man claims he's making a change. He's doing something that none other presidents ever had guts to do. And I'm saying it that way because that's how they look at it. Yeah. See, this man, I think, has lost his marbles. But there's no proof of that yet. But he's doing what he wants to do. And there ain't nothing none of us could do about it. Ain't none of us safe, y'all. Stay at home. Protect your families. God bless. And keep in mind that they're monitoring stuff. So please just look. Stay close to your families, protect your families. All right?
As an Asian American, I'm extremely disappointed to see the lack of Asian and Asian American creators speaking out about what's happening with ICE, the deportations, and especially in California. As someone that was born and raised and has lived in California my entire life, I have the extreme privilege and sense of safety that comes with being a natural born citizen. I'm also Chinese American, and my grandparents immigrated from their respective countries. On my Japanese side, my grandfather put a lot of time and effort and care into building his own business in Washington. When the internment camps started happening, all of his efforts to help support my family, to give them a happy, healthy, safe life, and to give them opportunities, all of those efforts were ultimately disregarded, disrespected, and dehumanized when he was sent to an internment camp. And after the internment camps, he was never given any of that back. He had to work again to build a safe life for my family. The internment camps are a proof of a concept where our Asian communities are not safe. And Trump actually has been targeting Asian communities for deportation, particularly Southeast Asian communities. As Asian Americans, we have a unique perspective on what's going on because our families and our communities have also faced brutalization, have been targeted, we face discrimination, we face racism, and we know what it's like to be denied opportunity just because of what we look like or where we or our families come from. And if you're like me and you have the privilege to be a natural born citizen, I strongly urge you to use your empathy, your perspective, your experiences in your family, to use your voice to find out how you can support your local communities and keep your eyes and ears open to what's going on. Watch the news, share resources, understand and educate yourself on what to do if you witness an ICE deportation, if ICE ever comes to your house hoping to deport you or one of your family members, and to not fall victim to bystander effect or letting yourself not say anything because it's the easier thing to do. I hope that this can be a wake-up call for my fellow Asian Americans that you cannot be complicit in what's going on right now. What's happening is, even if it's not affecting your direct immediate family, is going to affect your community and is affecting your local communities. I'm not even a content creator. I'm not even a small one. I barely even make content. And I know it can be easy to get worried about saying the right thing, doing the right thing, showing up in the right way. But at this point, all that matters is that you're using your voice in some way and raising awareness about what's going on. This is not a political or legal issue. This is a human issue.
Ajma here, reading the news that there are potentially up to 150,000 Koreans in the U.S. That are vulnerable and potentially a target for deportation. And that includes adoptees. I would very much like off this timeline, but we're going to do what we can to be prepared and to be kind and to not panic, and no matter what, we shall be kind, and we shall try to do our best to do everything that is right with the universe. The arc of justice is very, very long.
To all of the East Asian Americans who think that you are oh so different than all these Latino communities that are getting ripped apart by ICE and think that your pale skin is going to protect you somehow, you are being fucking delusional. Like, it's barely been one full lifetime since we've seen something very similar happen to our very own communities in this country. My great-grandparents' house was seized and taken from them by the US government, and they had to live in the sugarcane fields because the US government was detaining legal United States citizens. My great-grandparents were born and raised in the United States, and so were many of their peers, and yet our communities were getting torn apart, our shrines being destroyed by the government, and in the case of Oahu, Hawaii, where 5 generations of my family have been born and raised by now, the island was essentially turned into a militarized state. My great-grandparents never got their house back, and the land that their house used to be on is currently military housing, which is why as a Japanese American, I look at other East Asian Americans and I just don't understand how you cannot have just a small shred of empathy for these families that are getting ripped apart for no fucking reason. And like I said, my family has been here for 5 generations, and yet I am still scared for my young cousins who are going off to college soon, and they're going to be by themselves for the first time, and all of our aunties and grandparents are telling them, make sure you carry your passport around with you everywhere you go because you just don't know. Anyway, my point is that we have to have solidarity with each other because we are so much more similar than we are different. And for the love of God, please, if you're not going to do anything else, at least share resources. It takes like less than 10 seconds to hit repost.
What's up, folks? Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Thank you so much for always come back to watch our videos. I always appreciate your support. I am your presenter, Fiikazzo. So today's, guys, we are going to talk about Asian Americans. Asian Americans right now are facing deportation. They thought they were safe. They thought this wasn't for them. But now the knock at the door is real. IC raids are no longer just a distant fear. They've come to the doorsteps of Asian American families, shattering assumption and tearing through communities. So we've seen reports that there are some Asians that have been deported to Africa and some other parts of the world, you know, like the way DT want to do it. Right now, Asian Americans or Asian community that live in America, they thought they were safe. They thought, oh, we're not like Latinos. We're not like Hispanics. We're not like, you know, with other people. So they thought they are, you know, safe. So that's why even Hispanics called them to help them in their situation. They said we are okay with deportation. We've seen those videos. But right now, Asian Americans are also targeted by ICE. That's what we are seeing. And it's causing fear through the communities because, man, imagine living in America for generation. Like you are the 5th generation and you're scared to be deported. Man, that's the situation right now. So Asian Americans are really scared of getting deported, man, because things are taking another level. Because we've seen Hispanic crying out, with full of fear because of deportation, but also we are seeing Asian as a target right now. So we can call them as unexpected targets. Because many Asian Americans, even those without legal status, might not have seen themselves as a primary target for mass deportation. When IC show up at their homes, workplace, or even public places like grocery stores and nightclubs, it's huge shock. This shows them that, these aren't just raids on others. Man, as one leader put it, they are also affecting Asian American communities. So the Asian thought, oh, we not belong in the deportation, people. We not belong in the community of people that are expected to be deported. So that's why they go their wake-up call, because these people, they were like sleeping. They were like, oh, for us, we are okay with deportation. No one is going to deport us. They thought, oh, we're safe. We are on the safe hands. Okay, but right now they are unexpected targets of the ICE, because, man, they found themselves also on the list of people that are going to get deported. That's crazy, because a few months ago we've seen Asians saying that for us we are okay with deportation. Okay, it's not all Asian, it's some of them, because they were, ranting that we're okay with the deportation. But right now, deportation have hit their communities. So are they really okay with the deportation? We've seen some Asians support black people. We've seen some Asians support Latinos. We've seen also some Asians that are not okay with deportation of Latinos. That we are, against that. But, right now, they are also the targets. That's what we are seeing. So the sense of safety have been shattered to this community, because the raids create an immediate and widespread fear. People become afraid to go to work, send their kids to school, even go about their daily lives. They are scared. Businesses in Asian American neighborhoods see a huge drops in customer because people are too scared, man, to go out. They don't want to go out. They're saying, if we go out, man, they're going to deport me to South Sudan. They're going to deport me to Nigeria. They're going to deport me to elsewhere that DT plans to deport them. So it's really crazy, man. It's crazy because, man, these people, we thought they're also safe. That's what we thought. But this shows that if they can deport real Americans, you are not safe. If they can deport like natives, you're not safe. It's true. So that's why there is the sense of safety in Asian community have been shattered, and families are suddenly torn apart. Individuals who have lived in the US for decades, sometimes refugees who fled war and persecution, are being detained and face deportation based on old, often minor convictions. This is particularly devastating for those who had indefinite hold, others on their deportation, meaning they thought they were safe. None is safe. According to this situation, I can say that no one is really safe, because, man, you might thought you're safe and you step out to go to the market or you go to college, man, they detain you. They detain you. So there is a panicking in the Asian communities, because fear and silence, then the outrage. Man, initially there might be a tendency in some Asian Americans community to go down and get more and more hiding due to stigma and fear. However, as the raids continue, the impact become undeniable. This gives away to outrage and need to speak out, which we've seen that they are calling their fellow Asian, creators to talk about this, because, man, no one is like talking about this, but they're also facing deportation. Okay, so it means, man, none is safe. No one is really safe in this situation. If they are targeting Asians, man, no one is safe. Really, they are not safe. Because it seems that, man, everybody It's not safe. Yeah. And it brings me to the point of Asian who voted DT, of Asian who voted against their own interest. We've seen Vietnamese and other Asians. They are calling their community, they are calling their people who voted against their own interest, man. You're the one causing all this problem to the community. The community was safe. They were okay. But you guys, you thought you were like them. So that's why you voted against your own interest. And right now it is affecting you badly. It is affecting you bigly. You've never expected to see things like this. So it is a FAFO season to you. It is if around you find out no matter what. Or you thought, no, we're not Hispanic. We're not like Latinos. We mind our own businesses. So Latinos, mind your business too. But right now, you're gonna mind your business. Your fellow Asians are being deported. Your community is being torn apart. That is what's happening. So you thought it's far because it was Latinos who crossed the borders. But it's coming closer to your communities. You are not exceptional. So you guys, you caused all these problems to these people. I'm talking about MAGA Asians. These Asians who voted DT, who voted against your own interest. Man, you caused all this. Imagine your brother or your family being deported to South Sudan. It's crazy. It's hard to understand. I've seen a story that, they came and took an old man in the age of 60 and 70. And right now the family doesn't know where that man is. Whether they don't know if he's detained in the US or if he's been deported. So man, it's crazy. It's so crazy. Very hard to understand, man. How people hate themselves, hate their families, hate everything to vote against their own interest. To vote to deport their families. Man, this is so crazy, man. So hard to understand. You cannot understand this, man. It's so man, I don't know how to say this, but it's very hard to understand. And it's very hard to defend the MAGA. It's okay. It's your own benefits. No one's here to choose for you, but people have, warned you. People have told you that be careful. Whatever you're doing, just be careful because things are not okay. Things are going to be, but you've never listened. All right, folks, thank you so much for watching. Tell me in the comment section what you think about this video. Let's keep our conversation in the comments down below. And I am Fiikazzo. Let's meet in the next one.